He just clearly went off at the right time. And this is what we wanted to see out of, our Bills team, right? We wanted to see that, George. Finally, those guys getting off to a good start. So you definitely wanted to see that out of your Bills. I mean, for them to put up 30 points. And then the crazy part about it is they could have 40. If that second possession, they botched that sequence after Pittsburgh got that turnover.
41, 42, yeah. 43, 44.
Exactly. Like, so at the end of the day, the Bills looked it damn good against a depleted, Pittsburgh Steelers team. And hey, you playing football, that's what's going to happen out there. You can't feel sorry for another opponent because they're missing guys. The Bills was missing guys out there today. Look, Tremaine Edmonds didn't play. Jordan Poyer didn't play out there. Christian Benford, another rookie, he didn't play out there. It's a lot of guys that didn't play out there. Jordan Phillips did play. Ed Oliver did play. And that's what we wanted to see. How was those guys going to be able to come back after those little knick-knack injuries? And Torch, the defense looked damn good out there today. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts were I thought this game was going to be a lot different. A lot different. How? I did. I thought it was going to be a lot different. I thought it was going to be a little more competitive than it was.
Come on. Everybody keeps thinking that it was going to be competitive.
No, I did. I thought it was going to be competitive. I thought the Steelers were going to come out there and then we're going to, show why they're the Pittsburgh Steelers, and it was going to be a fight in the first half.
With who?
I mean, again, the Pittsburgh Steelers, are a prestigious, predominant team. I do like what they've done the last 10, 15 years, but just because of last year, they knew that the Bills was going to want revenge.
Right.
I thought that they were going to come out, and they were going to throw some punches. They weren't going to make it easy.
What was some punches thrown? There was some punches.
Oh, yeah. No, it was one-sided.
At the end,
one-sided.
But we talk literally punches. We know who threw the first punch, and we knew who threw the last punch. But I told everybody that this was the Bills' week of being humbled and hungry. This is a pure definition of what Coach McDermott always talking about, being humble, being hungry. This week, all through the pressers, you can see the Bills expressing that humbleness out of the Pittsburgh Steelers, understanding, the Pittsburgh Steelers mystique, understanding the Pittsburgh history, understanding, basically what's at stake. You know what I mean? So, but don't get too high, don't get too low. They took them for granted last year, week one, and Steelers called them lacking. So Bills is on point. Bills is definitely on point. I mean, from Monday to Sunday, the Bills were on point. They understood Pittsburgh had injuries. They understood there's going to be some players out there nicked up. But, they understood that they got a job they got to go out and do. And they went out there and did that today. They did not look past the Pittsburgh Steelers. Everybody was talking about this is going to be some sort of trap game. Wasn't a trap game. The Bills went out there and took care of business with your defensive leaders not being out there, and Micah Hyde, Jordan Poyer, and Tremaine Edmonds. If you would have told me that those three guys was not going to play on this defense and, they end up winning this game 38-3, I don't think nobody would have, believed that the Bills would have did that. But on the flip side of it, Josh Allen was on fire, right? Josh Allen was definitely on fire. So, what are your thoughts on Josh getting onto that first start?
Well, first and foremost, he got off out the gate, right. 98 yards to Gabe, which I'm going to tell y'all this again. Gabe Davis is going to be something special. A lot more than a lot of people think. This guy has... Wow. Well, you know what? To be honest, Mookie, this is going to sound crazy, but I'm going to go there. I think that Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis have the same impact as Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne had with Peyton Manning. I could see that duel being just that good in due time. Gabe Davis is really, really good, and he keeps showing it. Week after week. I mean, there's not really, when Gabe plays, there hasn't been too much slowdown with Gabe Davis. I mean, he caught 2 bombs today.
Yeah, it was bombs over Baghdad.
It was bombs over Baghdad. And surely an outcast of behind whooping was dealt. But I like what I see from these guys and Gabe Davis and the wide receiving core. Even Khalil Shakur got in the mix too. So I liked what I saw with that too. I'm gonna give it back to you because I don't want to say too much. I want to save some of this.
Well, I mean, the receivers, it was just that day, especially with your quarterback is throwing over 300 yards in the first half. You know, your receivers are doing one hell of a job. Obviously, for all you fantasy leaguers, Gabe Davis, 3 catches, 171, 2 scores. Stephon Diggs, 8 catches, 102 yards in a score. Khalil Shakur, 3 catches, 75 yards in a score. So, you know, yeah, our D is definitely playing better, Richard. You know, shout out to everybody that's tuning in on Twitter, Facebook, that's tuning into the WUFO Sports Report. Hey, give us a call, man. Phone lines is open. You know what I mean? You can call and state your case and what you think about this Bills team going into Kansas City. Hit us up, 716-837-1112. You know what to do as the Buffalo Bills mollywop the Pittsburgh Steelers 38-8. And, I mean, very efficient. And you look at this team, and it's like, okay, this is what everybody mean by the Bills being a Super Bowl contender team. When you can come out to, you know, good starts like this, score points. They did have that hiccup on that second sequence there. Didn't get any points. Field goal got blocked, and, you know, morale easily shifted there. But the defense was able to, you know, get things together, settle down, and, you know, make some turnovers on their own. Kenny Pickett wasn't that bad.
I think I said this was going to happen.
Yes.
I think I said it was going to happen. Told you.
Mm-hmm. You told us that, you know, the terrible towels was going to be terribly in our favor. How about that? You know, no terrible towel waving, but it's terribly.
Oh, no. The question of the week is bathroom or living room? Which one they using the terrible towels for this week? Wow, they got extra chores to clean up their act.
Yeah, I think the bathroom. That's a lot of
bathroom.
Yeah.
Living room. Which one?
For the bathroom to the living room. Yeah, they got a lot.
They going from the windows to the walls.
Windows to the walls. They got to clean that. They got to clean that mess up. That's mad best. But one thing that came out of this though, the play of Kenny Pickett, I thought Kenny Pickett played well. I mean, he threw for over 300 yards today too.
He did.
You know, the Bills gave up 300 yards. I was looking, I'm like, whoa. You know, you look at this blowout, but, you know, you look at the stats, Kenny Pickett wasn't bad out there. You know, 34 for 52, 327 yards. He did have one no, didn't have any scores. You can't deke and dunk. That's what basically, you know, that Kenny was dinking and dunking. He took a few shots early on Kyer Elam. We're going to get into that. But overall, I think that, you know, the Steelers found their quarterback. You know, Pickett did not, you know, he didn't really turn the ball over that bad. I mean, the one pick was the one pick, but I thought that, you know, he still played well enough, you know, that if Pittsburgh can get some things going in their run game, Pittsburgh can get, you know, healthy on defense, that somewhere down the line, maybe this Pittsburgh team could make the playoffs. You know, I don't want to see Coach Tomlin's streak end this year, but as it's looking right now, it looks like Coach Tomlin may have his first losing season of his coaching career. I don't want to put the cart before the horse, but right now, this is what it's looking like, you know. So hopefully they can get some ground going into this one, get healthy and get back on track. But big win for the Buffalo Bills, you know, moving forward to Kansas City, as my guy Richard Rush just stated.
Yeah, they don't hear talking. They said it won't be
striking at the right time, Torch. You know, at the right time going into Kansas City.
Yeah, I think they are actually. But a lot of people think it won't be smiles next week. Okay, where they play the Kansas City Chiefs, and you know why. You know why.
It won't be smiles.
Because the Kansas City Chiefs, to most folks, have the Buffalo Bills number when it comes to important games. Now, next week is a very important game. Let's be clear.
Well, let's be clear. We beat them in the regular season. We just haven't beaten them in the postseason when it really counts.
They did.
You know what I mean? Let's not forget that. And we did that with, you know, Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer out there. And we know Micah Hyde isn't going to be out there for that game. So, yeah, it's going to be definitely another dog-eat-dog match.
Absolutely.
You know, it's not going to be another match, but we ain't coming there to kiss Kansas City rings neither. I can tell you that. If you're not coming to Kansas City this time around,
they got plural rings.
No, I just like to say that because, I guess that's what Rex Ryan said. But he was once the coach here, and, he was doing a lot of kissing. There was a lot of capping and kissing Rex Ryan was doing. But, the Bills here, their mindset is totally different. They didn't been in every game they could possibly be in. Josh Allen has been in just about every situation in every game, whether it's an AFC championship game, whether it's a divisional playoff game, whether it's a big comeback victory down behind. He's been in just about every situation except a Super Bowl situation. And playing Kansas City, their mindset is going to be like, hey, back to the scene of the crime. Back to the scene of the crime. Gabe Davis has came aboard at the right time because we all know what he did to Kansas City last year. So you got Gabe Davis coming into Kansas City on fire, and there's another guy that they're going to have to keep tabs on because he torched them last year for over 200 yards and 4 touchdowns. You got to pick your poison. Kansas City is going to have to find out a situation this time around on how to stop not only Gabe Davis, but Stephon Diggs and the rest of these guys. Because this is probably, this is what you want to see out of this Bills offense. Even though they did have their struggles in the red zone, we're going to get into that too. But going up against Kansas City this time around, Jordan Phillips is going to be the X factor in that game. Roger Saffold is going to be the X factor in that game. All right. We got a guy that's going to be able to, tussle with Chris Jones. We got a bully for the bully. That's all I'm going to say. We got a bully for the big bad bully in Chris Jones. No more pushing Feliciano around Chris Jones. You're going to have to go up against Roger Saffold. And Saffold wants all the smoke. I'm going to tell you that right now. Saffold definitely wants all the smoke. So, on the flip side, we didn't have Jordan Phillips, on these back-to-back runs versus Kansas City in this playoff game. So they're going to get a taste of their own medicine, 6'6", 340 with that motor. And guys going to be clicking on all cylinders. So it's going to be another chess match. And this time it's for the driver's seat for the AFC. We all know what that home field advantage can do. So this is a big week. It's going to be a lot of hoopla surrounding this game right here. I wouldn't be surprised if they flex this game to be a night game, the way that is holding up. But the NFL did the schedules how they did the schedule, so it's going to be going down in Kansas City. You don't want to miss this one. This is definitely the game of the week, and a lot of national attention that this game is going to be having. Come tomorrow all the way up to Sunday. So once again, Bills hard serve at home, destroying the Pittsburgh Steelers. 38-3, and I'm going to run down a few more stats here if I could. For the Bills, once again, Josh Allen, 20 for 31, 424 yards, 4 scores, 1 no. Case Keenum got a little ink out here, 2 for 5, 8 yards. You can see Case Keenum in that fourth quarter. Josh Allen, Devin Singletary still tied for leading rusher at 42 apiece, but Devin Singletary had one more carry than Josh. So Singletary 6 carries, Josh 5 carries. We got to get that going a little bit more, but I think I figured out a method to the madness. Once again, Gabe Davis, 3 catches, 171 yards, 2 scores. The guy easily had over 30 fantasy points. So everybody that took Gabe Davis on fantasy, I know y'all, drinks are on me. Let me tell you that because I had Gabe in my fantasy football league. Drinks are definitely on me. Gabe Davis, with the big day. Stephon Diggs, 8 catches, 100 yards as usual, and a score. Khalil Shakur, 3 catches, 75 yards and score. Isaiah Hodgkins in his first NFL game, 4 catches, 41 yards, some big plays out of there. Quentin Morris had a nice diving grab over the middle for about 13 yards that kept the sticks moving. Tyrell Dotson led the team in tackles, 11 tackles with a sack. Khair Elam, 10 tackles and a pick. Damar Hamlin, 8 tackles. Dane Jackson, 6 tackles. Those guys was going out there balling. Matt Milano, quiet night for him. Only 1 tackle after that beastmaster of a performance he put out there in Baltimore. Didn't need him too much out there today. Only 1 tackle. Von Miller, 1 tackle that obviously that led to a sack. AJ Espinosa, who was ejected out of the game for, I guess he didn't realize that the ref was, pushing him, and he shrugged off the ref, didn't know it was the ref, and the ref ejected him for, touching the ref. He explained that to me thoroughly after the game. But, once again, this Bills defense is very stout at the point of attack, Dre, and they're doing it without, their starters not out there. What do you have to say about this Bills defense?
Obviously, it's the number one defense in the league, even though they gave up 327. A lot of that was in garbage time, as we call it. Nevertheless, I like what I see from the younger, up-and-coming players on this team. A lot of depth on this team. And I said this before, by the way, I mentioned it in my new article this week on what do the Bills need to improve on. By the way, you can get that on billsbeat.com. Yeah, I mentioned it. And these guys are performing at a high level. Maybe it's the influence of multiple things. I think, Jordan Phillips being around, Von Miller being around, the better play from your linebackers. You got Jermaine Evans, and Matt Milano playing at a very high level this year, a lot better than I've seen in past. Also, Kyer Elam is playing at a high level, locking down corners. Did a wide receiver have 100 yards today for the Pittsburgh Steelers?
I don't know. I know Pickens is definitely Kenny's top target. Pickens on the day, 6 catches, 83 yards. Kyer Elam, I don't know. We got at him in the locker room, and I don't know. I guess he's his own worst critic. And he was kind of really down on himself after the game. I'm like, hey man, you got your first pick. He wasn't really, he was he's happy about it, but you can still see, I guess he don't like catches being made on him. And I get it. I'm a cornerback too. I don't like nobody catching no catches on me neither. But hey, it's going to happen through the course of the game. Pickett got 6 catches, 83 yards. They wasn't all on you, but still, he was more, point of emphasis of, that back shoulder play and that hitch that, he lost that battle on. Those games, those plays were still on the back of his mind, other than getting his first career interception. But, that stuff like that will only make him a stronger player. It wasn't, too much of a point where Pickens was just out there just doing his thing. He did that on the flip side to Dane Jackson too. He caught passes out there. So Kyer Elam definitely kind of beat himself up a little bit there in the locker room. I'm going to play that. You'll hear it. You'll hear it live pretty soon with me in the locker room with Roger Saffold, Gabe Davis, Kyer Elam, Terrell Dobson, and a few others. But Kyer Elam was definitely something. I was like, wow, you can see it in his face that, that really bothered him, that Pickens caught a few passes on him. So I think that's going to make him even more alert, even more stronger going into this Kansas City matchup. But nevertheless, hit us up. The phone lines are open, 716-837-1112. You know what to do. Bills win 38-3. Make sure you keep it locked in legendary. You're tuned into the WUFO 1080 AM on Power 96.5. We'll be right back. More WUFO Sports. Ooh.
Maine and Michigan. From the east side to the west side. From North Buffalo to South Buffalo. We are the legendary Mix 1080 WUFO and Power 96.5. Power 96.5. A blend of R&B with your favorite throwbacks.
What happened? They lost?
Yeah, they lost.
Check
You know they lost.
Chubb Rock digging in the crates Saturday night.
Aaron Rodgers don't
Oh,
want
they lost 27-22.
Yeah, you don't want to talk in the locker room. He
Radio.com.
be cussing their ass out too. I be seeing.
Historically, Roswell Park has been a leading cancer
What's
center.
up
in
with
this
your
country.
boy?
I'm Rainier Brenchens. I'm the deputy.
Oh, wow. They
director
let them come back in the fourth quarter.
They let him come back.
for well over a decade.
What's
Roswell
going
Park
on
has had
with
the insight
Green
to
Bay?
realize that
Messing up everybody's
immunotherapy is going
tickets,
to
man.
be the next generation.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think that's really a
Most
mess up
patients
of a
want to make
ticket.
sure that they're
The
getting
Giants
the
are
best
actually
treatment
really
they
good
can
this
get
year.
anywhere. We
You
have
got to
one
give
of
the
the
Giants their
first
props.
to really
They got a running
proactively
back.
move
So,
our cancer
They were
therapy
doing a good
research
job.
and
We
cancer
thought,
treatments
we
towards
thought he
a
might
more
have some of that
specific way
Bills pedigree,
and a
winning
more natural
mentality.
way of
Go
treating
over
cancer.
there to the
Our
Giants.
patients
No.
know with
Saquon doing this thing.
You coming from Buffalo, it's just contagious. Like everybody's listening to you. It's like, how in the hell did
a destination center?
Man, we got no choice but to listen to this guy.
That's what Aaron Rodgers and them get. I'm not upset at all.
I want to hear what Aaron Rodgers had to say. Let's see.
The new Google
They
Pixel
say
7
Aaron
Pro
Rodgers
is
not
especially
happy
when it's on Verizon. The network America
with
realized
talking
that.
Packers
It's
locker
supercharged,
room.
super powered, and a super
Deal.
you know.
Oh,
Now,
Rodgers
switch to
doesn't like
Verizon and
hearing
get the Google
teammates
Pixel
talk
7
about
Pro
the
on us
possibility
with
of
select trade-ins
losing
and select
again
5G
in this
unlimited plans.
league.
That really is super.
Yep, there's never been a better time.
What?
to
It's the
switch to Verizon.
mentality y'all got.
$99.99 device payment purchase with new smartphone
Let's
line
see
and select
here.
5G unlimited plans required. $200 Verizon e-gift card
They
reported,
said
$700 trade-in
Aaron
supplemental
Rodgers heard
applied
the talk
over
even
6
before
0%
Silver Lake with
trade-in
Green Bay
conditions and additional
cornerback
supply.
Jair Alexander
Cafe
said
Mocha
in the locker
exclusively
room
2
after
to 4 p.m.
upset loss.
Saturdays on
So
WUFO
the Giants, he
1080
didn't
AM
like
and
it.
sister station Power 96.
Oh, and they got the Jets next week.
It's the event of the season, the 2022 Health and Wealth Education Expo, Saturday, October 29th at the Aqua Lounge, 2192 Niagara Street in Buffalo, from noon to 8 p.m. Get the facts from the experts on education in the city of Buffalo, getting healthy, staying healthy under COVID-19 and monkeypox threat. There will be experts on hand-on grant writing and your non-profit.
Yeah, they messed up everybody's tickets.
Also,
Hey,
the
people saw that.
information you
You
need
can
to
take
be
Green Bay.
financially stable and successful in these strange times.
really messed
Come
up
out
my
and enjoy
tickets.
great music, live jazz on the patio at 5 p.m. The Health and Wealth Expo 2022 ends with a spectacular concert with national recording artist Jay Brown,
Sad.
Charles Dudley, Ellison Kendrick, and many more. You will also hear the new voices of this year's BMMCA
I already got
finalists.
'em.
And don't forget, you can shop
Oh,
with
why
our
they got
vendors during the
Cowboys
expo
with
and win
this
free
name?
prizes all day spinning the wheel. The 2022 Health and Wealth Education Expo, Saturday, October 29th. Aqua Lounge, 2192 Niagara Street in Buffalo, from Mix 1080 AM and Power 96.5 FM.
Brought to you by WUFO Sports Industry from the east to the Free Health and Wellness Project and the Tobacco-Free Erie and Niagara Project of CAI. Also brought to you by KeyBank, AKG, 710 Main Theater, Bryant Stratton College, and Best Health Behavioral Health. From Bailey Ave to Maine and Michigan, from the east side to the west side, from North Buffalo to South Buffalo, we are the legendary Mix 1080 WUFO and Power 96.5,
Power965radio.com.
a blend of R&B with your favorite throwbacks.
Okay, Coach, I guess I'm going to the penalty box. I took a 3-second high
Right.
He was rolling his eyes over there.
How we catch razor sharp lacking? We don't normally, the Bills must have had to win big. We catch razor sharp lacking. You know what I mean?
I was just kind of, petered out from celebrating.
You was too busy reading that Josh Allen stat line. That's what it was. You was reading that Josh Allen stat line. I know.
No, she wasn't. She was still being razor sharp while taking the break. She was in the prayer room for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh, she was praying for the Steelers.
Yeah, she was in the
It took her
prayer
a little
room.
long. That's all. It took her a little
She
long.
had an extra little long prayer.
Yeah, they ain't stay and get the pizza, or nothing. They left her out of there. Everybody just like bum rush the wall. It's like to be a stacks of pizzas for all the players after the game. After the game, stacks of pizzas and wings.
Oh yeah, I know.
Up. And they just burn rush them when the teams don't pick them up. One of these games, I'm gonna pick me up a box. But Bills win 38-3 in great fashion. It was just good to watch. It was just good to watch. This is what everybody's been waiting to see out of this Buffalo Bills team. And they still doing it half-mast. They still doing it with no Trey White. They still doing it with no Jordan Poyer. They're still doing it with no Micah Hyde. They did it today with no Tremaine Edmonds. All right. So once this team gets completely healthy and more other people come, we ain't saying no names right now, but it's abbreviated. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But we'll see him probably week 10, week 12. On top of everybody's being healthy with Xavier Rhodes. Let's not forget we still have him. So, the Bills just looked pretty good going into Kansas City week. And, everybody's going to be talking about this matchup all week long. But before we get into anything else, let's just try to recap the remainder of the NFL. Torch, you got some scores for us?
Absolutely. Currently going on right now, the 49ers 24-12 over the Panthers. Rams trailing by 9 to the Cowboys. 19-10, we got the Cardinals trailing by 7 with the ball right now against the Eagles, undefeated Eagles. The shocker of the day in which they messed up the ticket. Aaron Rodgers, unhappy about the talk in the locker room as the Packers at home take a loss to the Giants 27-12. 27-22.
They weren't at home. They were the home team.
Oh, I'm sorry, right. They were the home team. Oh, they were in were they in London? They was in London. I see London, I see France. I see someone's we won't go there. Nevertheless.
You're gonna make me play a disclaimer.
A disclaimer. Well, I see somebody showing their underpants in the locker room, and Aaron Rodgers ain't too happy about it. The Chargers 30-28 over the Browns. The Vikings.
See that game? Cleveland is always Cleveland, right?
Yeah.
Here it is, Cleveland and marching down. It was 3rd and 11.
Yeah.
Bad pass by Brissett.
Yeah.
So they had to kick a 54-yard field goal that went wide right. They lose the game. 30-28. You know, only in Cleveland fashion that they could lose the game. They end up losing the game, but carry on.
All right. Now, with that being said, the Vikings 29-22 over the Bears.
They had to come back. They almost messed up my ticket too. What's going on, Minnesota?
The Patriots 29-0. We talking about Detroit. Krispy Kreme, no glaze.
No glaze.
Right?
No glaze
whatsoever.
Only one is 30. So it's 29 to Krispy Kreme. No glaze.
No glaze.
It's kind of wonder. I mean, Pittsburgh defense. New England's defense had to play today because I think Zapp only threw once or twice. He had 2 touchdown passes on the day. They didn't run no touchdowns in, so maybe the New England's defense showed up.
Zapp threw 21 times, completed 17 passes for 188 yards, a touchdown, and threw one of those. Don't do that.
Well, no. But yeah, New England. Bill Belichick and those guys playing pretty good.
Saints 39-32 over the Seahawks.
39-32?
39-32.
Ooh, that was a shootout. I thought Seattle was going to pull that one out.
Okay.
By the way that Seattle played last week, you would think that, they would have, some momentum going into this week. But obviously they surrendered to some shape, form, and fashion on the possession that cost them the game. Interesting.
Coach, that wasn't the only shocker. I thought it was only one. There was actually 2. This shocker comes in the form of the New York Jets. 40-17. 40. They dropped the 40 spot on Miami.
Well, Teddy Bridgewater got a concussion the first play of the game. So, and again, they say he passed protocol.
Oh, boy.
Again, they said he passed protocol. But somebody saw him stumble, and that's when they said, "No, you're done for the day." So no Teddy Bridgewater out there. The cheetah left the game in the boot too. So Miami is kind of nicked up.
Wow.
But I knew that I had the Jets winning this game outright.
Yeah, I had the Jets winning.
So this is not a shocker to me. Yeah, it's a shocker of the points, but this wasn't a shocker to me. I felt that the Jets did have some momentum going into this week versus Miami at home after, with the big win last week. So that carried over into this week, and obviously a barrage of points happened, in the midst of it all. But yeah, the Jets is balling these past couple.
They got a barrage of Breece Hall killing the game. Almost 100 yards in rushing and receiving in this one.
Yeah, that was a guy that, that was on the Bills' radar. It was just, a second-round pick away from nabbing him. But James Cook scored today for the Bills, so I ain't mad at that.
Tampa Bay 21-15 over the Atlanta Falcons.
21-15. They allowed Atlanta to come back to make a game of it.
Yeah.
How many attempts Tom Brady finish up with? Because he threw the ball 30 times at half. He 33 attempts at halftime.
52 attempts for Tom Brady, 35 completions, 351 yards of passing, and a touchdown.
Still playing at a high level, 45 years old.
Absolutely. The Titans, 21-17 over the Commanders.
Remember the Titans?
Remember the Titans. Absolutely. Speaking of the Titans, we talk about the AFC South fellows, the Texans, who won today 13-6 over the Jaguars.
That's the shocker. Jacksonville's been playing very, very good. And, I don't know. They just had a lapse. It's a division game. I don't know what really went wrong with Jacksonville. I mean, that's a team that probably messed up a lot of people's ticket, too, just because this team was, on fire. But, Coach Lovie Smith and probably Damian Pierce was able to put the fire out and, win a ball game out there. So that one was a little shocker to me.
Yeah, it's a shocker, too, because if you look at the stats, you would have thought that the Jacksonville Jaguars should have won this game, but two don't do that. By Trevor Lawrence is the difference in this game, and Damian Pierce with a 100-yard game pretty much and a touchdown was the game-winning score. Mookie, we do got another shocker. Dang, man, I thought it was only 2 today, and I got to bring up Thursday night. I got to bring this up. Sir, what is up with Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos? What's up with that team? That was god-awful on Thursday night. I took a whole snooze on the game. I watched it, went to overtime. I turned it off and took a snooze.
Was that your shocker?
Yeah.
The Colts that was your other shocker?
That's
another shocker?
No, that's the shocker right there. How is Russell Wilson and that team playing so dismal and god-awful right now?
Well, I mean, you gotta look at it like this. Just because he's Russell Wilson, though, they could lose now just because it's Russell Wilson.
Oh, it's not.
You gotta understand. In Seattle, things were different for Russell in Seattle. Things were catered for Russell in Seattle. Things are not catered for Russell in Denver, and that's the issue. That's the big difference. In Seattle, Russell Wilson had passing lanes to throw the ball over the middle. Thursday night, it didn't seem like he didn't know where to go with the football, right?
No, he was going on the turf a lot.
Yeah, on the turf a lot, but he still wasn't going correctly with the ball. If you look at the game winner, you locked in on Cortland Sutherland.
I know.
You got Hamlin.
I saw that.
Wide open on a slant. That ain't who fault is that? That's the quarterback fault. You got to work in your progression.
Yeah, he threw the pick.
Your pre-snap clearly told you that slant was going to be there, but you out of all people to go after, you going after Stephon Gilmore. You going after Gilly Lock not once but twice. You playing with Gilly Lock. Gilly Lock intercepted the ball down there on the goal line.
Yes, he did.
For them to go ahead to get the ball back to go ahead and go with the score. And then for another game winner, you go after Gilly Lock again. Why is you doing that? So Russell Wilson, this is not Seattle where they had things catered to you. All right. And then furthermore, you don't have no chemistry with the team. It's going to take a while for them to build that chemistry, that trust, and gel. And it's costing them ball games right now. I mean, he has a rapport with Cortland Sutherland, obviously, because he's looking for him. Not looking for Jerry Jeudy a lot. You're not looking for KJ Hamlin at all, So I don't know what's going on between bad play calls from Hackett, bad QB decisions from your quarterback, get you a L on game day, versus a not so good Indianapolis Colts team.
Razor sharp. I feel a church song coming on. What do you get when you play like Russell Wilson? You get booed out. What do you get when you pass that ball wrong? When in doubt, sack 'em out.
Church edition.
Stop it. Stop it, Coach. Stop it, Coach. You get a 12-night loss.
What can he do for you?
Yo, that is too funny. Mookie over here with the shout, man. They need
the words of MC Hammer. That's why we pray.
I'm telling you, they need something. I'm like, yo,
we pray.
Mookie, have they had a good offensive game all year yet?
They need to pray just to make it today.
Stop it.
All right.
MC Hammer.
My thing is this. Everybody had Denver like it was the favorite in the West because Russell Wilson came. Knock that off. Where are y'all people at now? It's Russell Wilson, Denver is come on, knock that off. We know Kansas City is the big enchilada in that division. Where are those people now that were saying Denver going to Super Bowl? They got Russell Wilson. Denver's the top dog in the West because they got Russell Wilson.
Mookie, do you remember we caught them in the preseason?
Yeah, it's bad.
I remember they was talking all that stuff. Von Miller was signing their autographs and everything. And they was talking all that stuff about how they was going to win the West. Yeah. Y'all can't. What West?
They can't win the West Side over here on Hudson, Niagara.
Right? What?
They can't beat nobody.
What?
Man, Denver Broncos ain't beat nobody on the West.
This is god awful. I mean, they booing Russell.
Bad decision making by the quarterback. Bad pay calling by the offensive coordinator / head coach. That's something they got to figure that out. But in the meantime, in between time, teams like Chargers, team like Chiefs, pretty much know who they are, know what they're doing as an offense. And that's where, that's the tale of the tape right there. But let's talk about the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, let's talk about them.
In London.
Huh.
In London. London Bridge fell down on the Green Bay Packers today.
Yeah.
What did Saquon Barkley do out there? I mean, because, he had to have a day. Because I don't know who else is on the Giants team, to even make this one. How did the Giants win being so one-dimensional? Did Danny Dimes catch, get on fleek out there in London? I mean, let me know, Church.
This actually was a defensive matchup. Saquon Barkley had 13 carries for the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
He had 70 yards and a touchdown. Daniel Jones was 21-27, 217 yards, in which you would have thought if Saquon had less than 100 yards rushing and Daniel Jones didn't have 250 yards passing, you would have thought that the Green Bay Packers probably would have won this game, right?
Right.
But if we go to the other side, Aaron Jones only had 63 yards rushing today.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Rodgers, once again, who I'm really 2 seconds from writing a whole article about Aaron Rodgers and his dismal play this year, is 222 yards. I mean, he had 2 touchdown passes. Randall Cobb had 99 yards, but y'all couldn't win the football game.
No Romeo today?
No.
What did Romeo? What was his stat?
Randall Cobb was the leading receiver in this game. Romeo was still trying to find out if he could get Juliet back to life.
Castle, huh?
Yeah.
Romeo.
Yeah.
Romeo.
Oh, that's Rapunzel. He was playing with Rapunzel. I don't know which one, Rapunzel or Juliet, but he only had 29 yards in this game, and it's sad. Once again, I just want to give you the wide receivers for the Packers once again. Randall Cobb, Alan Lazard, Romeo Dobbs, Robert Tyan, and the rest I don't even need to name because Mercedes Lewis, who was that, hasn't. I know he is. He hasn't done nothing to tight any end up at all. Christian Watson, the one catch. Yes, 1 catch, 1 yard. Okay, have fun with that.
Let's just say, is it clear to say that Aaron Rodgers just don't trust these guys?
He don't.
Is it clear to say that Aaron Rodgers messed up?
Yes.
It's clear to say that the Green Bay Packers messed the pack up because of Aaron Rodgers messing the pack up.
Yes and no. Once again, organization as far as making the correct moves, the Packers really haven't done that. I mean, you spent all that money in pass on Zadarius Smith and then got caught with the $27.5 million cap hit in which you had to let him go. That kind of hurt. Aaron Rodgers, they paid him $50 million, even though I think he deserved that because if you look at all the other quarterbacks, I mean, you got to pay Aaron Rodgers, right? But at the same token,
you paying him and then you
40.
Can't pay nobody else.
Right, and that's the problem.
You cap strapped.
And that's the problem. Yeah, being cap strapped. I mean, look at the wide receivers that they have. I mean, once again, Aaron Rodgers has been known for making receivers. I think Romeo would be good.
That Aaron Rodgers made. Let's be clear. What receivers that Aaron Rodgers made?
Oh,
what receivers in Aaron Rodgers
made?
He didn't make Devontae Adams. We can be clear on that. And I don't think he made Randall Cobb neither. He didn't make Randall Cobb either. So who did Aaron Rodgers make out here?
So let me ask this question.
He clearly can't make none of these guys.
I mean, besides Romeo, who I think is going to be really good, but Romeo had 29 yards today. So he didn't make Jordy Nelson, huh? So he didn't make Greg Jennings. He didn't make. You know what? And at this point, wait a minute, time out. What has Devontae Adams did in Vegas? Besides the one game that he had,
Devontae Adams is getting targets over there. They losing.
Getting targets.
I'm not saying that he's out of the dark with it.
You can get targets, but if you produce it,
right? But I'm not letting. That's like That's like playing Josh Allen and not paying Stephon Diggs.
Well, here's the problem I have, though, Mook. Here's the problem I have. Devontae Adams missing 3-4 games a season with Aaron Rodgers still had top 3 wide receiver numbers every year. And he's done that 3 years in a row where Devontae Adams has been missing for at least 3 games in the season.
So what you should have did,
Let's pay
Aaron
Devontae
Rodgers,
Adams.
you should have got with your man and said, okay, how much you want? I'm only gonna ask for this much. So
For sure. I'm not.
We got to keep this thing going. So here it is, Aaron Rodgers. You're in the last phases of your career.
Correct.
You're willing to depart with the guy that you trust everything to. You're ready to depart with that at the end of your career when you're trying to get on a Super Bowl run and you're willing to start from scratch, because that's basically what you did. You took the money to start from scratch. You took money from other teammates so you can get your bag, and this is what you left with. Tom Brady never did that. Tom Brady always take less money. That's why.
This is the reason why he has.
That's why New England was able to compete for at least 7 championships.
Which is the reason why he has multiple rings. Again, I'm not against nothing that you're saying. I think honestly, Aaron Rodgers took money over championships,
right?
And that
you took that bag. You didn't leave nothing for your man to get.
That's gonna hurt his legacy. I'm gonna be honest with you.
And I mean, you still got you fought them, but you fought the front office too for even putting yourself in this situation. Like right now with the Bills, Josh getting 43 a crack, and that contract is looking like a steal compared to what these next quarterback contracts is going to look like. All right, but what? Josh Allen is still going to restructure $43 million next year. The Bills is going to ask him to restructure one of those years. And Josh Allen is clearly going to do that because he wants to win. Who's to say Josh Allen in his life never thought he would make this type of money coming from out of Wyoming, coming from Reedy College, junior college. He never thought he would have, in his wildest dreams, probably be even on this type of stage. But he is. You want to win. Everybody for the Bills, good Lord, just about is under contract except for these next go around here with Tremaine Edmonds. And it's going to be a few other guys that we know we're going to have to bring back, like Roger Saffold is going to be back, Jordan Poyer, Jordan Phillips, Ed Oliver. His contract is up after next year. So, the Bills going to have to, do some finagling with the roster, but they're doing a good job of that. And I'm quite sure that if Josh Allen want to keep this thing going, Josh Allen is going to take that pay cut, just like because everybody else taking the pay cut. Everybody else has taken a pay cut. So Josh Allen is definitely going to kick back, to make sure that the important pieces stay right here in Buffalo. He's not going to be selfish and I say, I want all my money. And now you're suffering at the end. Look what Aaron Rodgers is going to. He's hearing whispers of if we lose in the locker room. Don't like what he's hearing in the locker room. You care to talk about that?
No, I mean, Jair Alexander said, if we lose next week against the Jets, and they at home again, the Packers at home against the New Jersey team.
Like, how are they saying that when they're playing the Jets? This is like the confidence isn't there to say that if we lose to the Jets.
And you know what's weird about that? Because I honestly feel like the Packers defense has actually been pretty solid this year. Haven't been bad this year. So for Jair to say that, that's kind of awkward. And Jair is my favorite corner in the league. So
well, they got to get that thing together. Once again, shout out to everybody that's on Facebook, Twitter. Wow, I hear you, my bro, from listening all the way from Mansfield. Alan, what's good? Did make sure DeMar, he definitely got his Willy Wonka ticket. Shout out to Health Science and Bennett and all the winners this week in high school football. We get down to the nitty-gritty. Playoffs is definitely on the way. A few weeks left in that. We're going to have some high schoolers in on the radio, come tomorrow night and Wednesday to discuss just that. But I don't know what the hell is going on with Green Bay. They better get it together. Run the football if you're not confident in your passing game, Aaron Rodgers. You have 2 running backs in Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. Run the football. If you're not confident enough in your receivers, and they have dropped some touchdown passes. They have. Well, you got to leave some money in the kitty so y'all can go and get a perennial wide receiver, Aaron Rodgers. So you don't have time to grow with these guys. And that's what he should have thought about before he took all this money. You don't have time. By the time Christian Watson and Romeo Dobbs be the receivers that you want them to be, you're going to be on your last year of your contract, and it's time to retire after that. You know what I mean? So you took the money over familiarity and continuity, and it's losing you ball games right now, because it's not like they're just getting blown out. You're losing close games, and where you lose those close games at, not having familiarity, not having continuity in the personnel that you have out there in those clutch moments. Your clutch guy is in Vegas.
Would you go out on a limb and say that the Packers will not win the division this year?
Absolutely, I'll go out on them and say the Packers won't win this division. This division is up for grabs, and I was kind of shocked. I mean, for even Chicago being in it as long as they was with Minnesota today. Right now, I think Minnesota is in that driver's seat, especially the way that Detroit took that L today. So you have to get a nod to Minnesota. Right now, Minnesota is looking good out of the Norris division. The Bears kind of surprised me. I like to see a little bit more on what they have to do. Maybe they're getting better. Who knows? But the way that Green Bay is going, they're tilting on a downward tip. While teams like Minnesota and Chicago arrows are up right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Dalvin Cook's playing really good. Justin Jefferson is doing the giddy every time he get a chance to step on the field. And Kirk Cousins likes that. So,
right.
They're 4-1. I'm not amiss to say that they are playing at a very high level, and they already beat the Packers too.
Let's dive into some of the 4 o'clock games and what we have as far as score-wise. I know Dallas is playing and Philly's up there. They're undefeated. So what we got out of those games?
So once again, the Cardinals are driving. They are at the Philadelphia 11-yard line, down a touchdown, down the score. The Rams still down 9. They have the ball at their own 10-yard line. 12:30 left in the fourth quarter. The 49ers up 30-15 on the Panthers. But there's a but. Nick Bosa.
He got hurt. We knew that was going to happen.
And Jimmy Ward is hurt.
Man, we already knew the Bosa's getting hurt. Like, this is not nothing new. They getting hurt. They're not. Yeah, all the time. The both of them, the both brothers, the Watts and the Bosas. McCaffrey is next. I'm not wishing no injuries on nobody, but it sounds like a damn cliche. They get but I don't want to say it, but maybe they need to get off the juicy juice a little bit. Yeah, they need to get off the juice. No, not that type of juicy juice, but sports juicy juice.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to have all these dang on injuries. I mean, nobody's going to say it. Hey, I'm saying it. What they going to do to me, right? Bosa's get off that juice, man. Y'all getting hurt. Disclaimer? Yeah, I signed a disclaimer right now. Joey, Nick, TJ, JJ, get off that juice, man.
Yo, Jay.
You got it this time. All right. So, hey, with that being said, y'all need to get off that juice, man. We'll be right back with more WUFO Sports Report in just a minute. Keep it locked and legendary on Power 96.5.
He has a groin injury.
Who? Bosa?
Mm-hmm.
Just like his brother, huh? Interesting. Non-contact injuries. Where did that come from? Look, they do a good job of juicing. And they know how to get the stuff out of their system. So when it's time for them to test, it's not in their system. But you get all these soft tissue injuries, these non-contact injuries. You nicked up all the time. Why is that? Because it's the juice. Love myself next week. Come on, T. Nice, man. Stop being a Bills hater, man.
Yeah.
Now these Bills haters out here. But Bosa is on that juice. And what is Baker Mayfield doing out there? I look at my ticket. Maybe I don't want some money because Lord knows I need it. But And I knew the Cowboys was going to win straight out. I knew the Jets was going to win straight out. It's what's going on with Cincinnati and the Ravens? That's tonight. I said Cincinnati's going to win straight out.
With Robert Birchall.
Oh, he's practically a member of the family.
Based on a true story.
He keeps these impulsive moods.
From the executive producer of the acting family.
Yeah, I definitely didn't think it was going to be 38-3.
Where is Jan?
Ooh,
Where is
the
she?
Steelers?
Has been kidnapped.
Mhm.
The Bill Steelers?
Mhm.
Everybody thought they weren't going to blow them out. I said it was going to be 40-14. Then I said, okay, it might blow them out likely 30-17. Yeah, 30 points at halftime. Look, nobody can stop this offense. Let me repeat. I'm going to say this for the air. Let me save this on air. This is bad. It's bad. No Dawson Knox. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. This dude doing for 300 in the first half.
Oh, they going in. They said, where's the Miami Dolphins now?
Yeah, where Jay Renard at? Where the fish master at? King Fish himself. Y'all let y'all coach put y'all in that situation. Now everybody getting concussions in Miami.
I shopped their Hello Summer sale.
Levi Wallace actually had an interception today.
Yeah, Josh threw the ball short. And Levi was able to turn around, make a play. They was picking on the whole game.
That would have been Gabe's third if he would have caught that too.
And that's true. Josh had to get it up. He
Look at that
He threw it low. He threw it low against when Quentin Morris was 1-on-1 too. But they said that win was
Yo,
crazy.
Minka Fitzpatrick damn near had a pick on that Gabe Davis other one.
He took it from him.
He said he took it right from him. They're gonna replay
He
right
said
here.
he had his left hand and he was trying to pull it away.
There will be experts on hand on grant writing and your nonprofit, how to make it a success. Also, the vital information you need to be financially stable and successful in these strange times. Great music, live jazz on the patio at 5 p.m. The Health and Wealth Expo 2022 ends with a spectacular
Bombs
concert
away
with
again.
national recording artist Jay Brown.
Oh, wait, bro. See, he had his left arm. He said he had it.
Also hear the new voices of this year's BMMCA.
Oh, yes, they took it from me last minute.
You can shop with our vendors during
Yeah,
the
Gabe
expo
with the
and
magic
win free
trick.
prizes all day.
That's how you magic trick a boy.
2022 Health and Wealth Education Expo, Saturday, October 29th at Aqua Lounge, 2192
Give me that shit.
Street in Buffalo from mix 10:80 a.m. and Power
That's how you
96.5
magic trick. That's how you magic trick a DB.
It's the Cherry Street Health and Wellness Project and the Tobacco-Free Erie and Niagara
Sure.
Project of CAI. Also brought to you by KeyBank.